श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, गौर निताय की, प्रभुपाद की। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी शतादिशतारिणे। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Govinda Jaya Gaura Hari Radhe Govinda Jaya Gaura Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman 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 Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Gaura Nitai ki Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna everyone. If you got some space you can bow down. We are offering our prayers to the Guru Parampara. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Stotra Sata Srimati His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Stotra Sata Srimati His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Dham Mathura Dham ki Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi ki Mayapur Dham ki Navadvip Dham ki Jagannath Puri Dham Dwarka Dham ki Bhaktivedanta Manor ki Harinam Sankirtan ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. We humbly request everyone to be seated. We have the Narasimha prayer now for the protection of all of us. Hare Krishna. Enough. You want to? Yeah.
Protect me by chance. If I stop or somewhere else. No, I have first time I'm missing.
First time. Support you.
Nrsingadev ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Namaste Narsingaya. Namaste Narsingaya. Prahlad Lad Daine. Prahlad Lad Daine. Hiranyakashe Purvakshaha. Shilatankan Kalai. ito Nrsimha Parito Nrsimha ito Nrsimha Parito Nrsimha yato yato yami tato Nrsimha yato yato yami tato Nrsimha bahe Nrsimha hridaye Nrsimha bahe Nrsimha hridaye Nrsimha Narsingamadin Sharanam Prapade Narsingamadin Sharanam Prapade Tava kare kamala bare nakham adbhuta shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Tav kare kamala bare nakham adbhuta shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsinga Dev, Jaya Narsinga Dev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Sri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you sang for the first time. Wasn't that brilliant? Let's give a big clap to our Prabhuji. So wonderful. You know, I've been coming here from the last 8 years, and one of the things I have seen in the mandir is we get to know so many things which we felt like we couldn't do, you know? When I first came here, I never thought I could sing an arti. I never thought I could sing a kirtan. I never thought you could speak from Bhagavad Gita. But then the beauty about Krishna consciousness is, once you come here, and once you want to do seva for Krishna, Krishna will give us so much of talent and so many skills Krishna gives, that we ourselves will be surprised that I didn't know I could do all this for Krishna. You know? Sometimes we think like, oh, can I sing? Do you think I can really sing? Because you never tried. Right? But when we come to Krishna consciousness, because all the talents that we have, everything is coming from Krishna. Everything is coming from Krishna. So when what we are doing is we are using Krishna's gifts, the talents that Krishna has given us to live in the material world. But imagine using all those talents for the service of Krishna. Right? How happy Krishna will be. In fact, if you take the whole Krishna consciousness, if I had to put it in one word, it is called Samsiddhim Haritoshnam, which means doing everything for the pleasure of Radha Gokulananda, to keep them happy. Because one of the name of Krishna is called as Rishikesha. Rishikesha means the master of all our senses. So if the master of senses is happy, automatically our senses will become happy. Right? Because we are serving the master. So similarly like this, I have seen that in my own journey, that when you want to do some service for Krishna, Krishna will give you all the skills, everything that is required to do service for him. In so many, and you yourself will be surprised that I never knew that I could do all these things. And so we always ask everyone, come and engage in devotional service. Because like sometimes like people come, right? They come to the mandir, they just sit for some time, go to the bakery, get some food and then leave. You will not have that kind of an experience. But let's say you come and serving Krishna. You're coming and serving Krishna. Even a small thing. A lot of people think, oh, do we have to leave everything and come back of Krishna? No. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Neha Vikramanastosthi Pratyavayone Vidyate Swalpam Abhyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahataba. Krishna is saying, even if you do a little bit of seva for me, Krishna is saying it will protect you from all the kind of great dangers in life, because you have done something which is very, very auspicious. So we have to take this message from Krishna, that Krishna is not expecting us to leave everything and come back. He's saying wherever you are, you can always serve Krishna in your own way. Right? You all see, like when we come to the mandir, you would have seen devotees like all of us, we are holding a bag like this. What is this bag? Does anyone know what is this? This is a chanting bag, right? So inside this, what we have? This is our greatest treasure. What do we have inside this? We have mala, japamala. So what do? We just keep it very safely inside this bead bag. And what we do, as soon as we come to the mandir, this is your mobile Radha Gokulananda with you. You are taking Radha Gokulananda wherever you want. This is the way, right? It is not that just I come to the mandir, I pray to Krishna and Radhama, and after that it's over. No, it's not like that. You can always keep your company of Radha Gokulananda by carrying a japmala like this. How much does it take space, right? You can just put it in your pocket like this. So it is like carrying Radha Krishna wherever you're going. So if you're going going to a station, let's say if I'm going to the railway station, all you do is just keep your finger in this thing and japmal and just practice Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Does it cost us anything? It doesn't cost us anything. All we are doing is, in fact, by just associating with Krishna, it is give you so much of auspiciousness that when we are engaging in serving Krishna by always chanting, the best way to serve Krishna is by engaging our mind constantly in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the best way to engage our mind, by just always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we are chanting, it is actually a prayer. What does Hare mean? Does anyone know what does Hare mean? Radharani, right? So very good. So one of the name of Radharani is called as Hara. So when we say in a mantra form, we say Hare. So, last week somebody came and said, Prabhuji, you always say Hare Krishna, but you never say Radhe Radhe. Why is that? Why you don't discuss about Radhe Radhe? Then I said, do you know what Hare means? Hara, he didn't know actually what is Hare. So then I said, Hara is another name of Radharani. So when we sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are actually praying to Radharani first. Always Radharani first. First we pray to Radharani. We ask Radharani, dear Radharani, please help us in reaching Krishna. Help us in Krishna Bhakti. So when we first pray to Radharani, Radharani is so kind and merciful that she will help us in attaining Krishna. So always Radharani comes first. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So always first Radharani, and so it's a beautiful prayer. We are praying to Radharani and Krishna. We are not forgetting either of them. We are constantly, wherever we are going, whatever time that you have, early in the morning is the best time. Why early in the morning? Our ancestors used to say, right? Gurus tell us to do early in the morning. Why? Early in the morning is in the mood of Sattva Guna, mode of goodness. Even the Prakriti also is in the mode of goodness. That's why you feel morning time, you feel very spiritual, isn't it? You feel like going in front of Krishna. You feel like doing spiritual things. Why? It's in the mode of goodness. So even the day also is in the mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Right? So we have to always just make sure that, but this chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is so nice that there is no restrictions at all. Meaning that if you ask me, can I chant any time in the day? Yes. You can chant in the morning, you can chant in the afternoon, you can chant in the night time, anytime before sleeping, you can chant anywhere. Can I chant it only at home or outside? Anywhere you're going, you can chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There are no rules and regulations at all. Can anyone chant, or only is it for Brahmanas only? No, everybody can chant. If you're Kshatriya, you can chant. If you're Vaishya, you can chant. If you're Sudra, you can chant. Anybody can chant. There is no restriction in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For example, Gayatri Mantra, not everybody can chant, isn't it? And there are rules and regulations, and very, very strict, it has to be followed. But here, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is so accessible that anywhere you go, you can just keep chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, what is the advantage? What do we get? Because, in today's material world, everybody wants to know, what will I get by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? Everybody wants to know, what will I get? So, three things will happen. When we chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Cheto Darpana Marjana Bhava Maha Davagni Nirbarpanam, which means Cheto Darpana Marjana means, Darpana means mirror. Your heart is like a mirror. So let's say, for example, I'm standing in front of the mirror and the mirror is full of dust. Can I see myself? I can't see myself because the mirror is full of dust. But if I clean the mirror, then I can see myself very clearly, right? So we are actually, what are we? Are we this body? No, we are not this body. We are Atma. We are a Jivatma. That is our actual identity. But we are not able to understand whether we are Jivatma. So by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it will cleanse your mirror-like heart. It will cleanse your mind. It will cleanse your heart. And then once everything is cleansed, and it will remove all the miseries of this material world. And the third stage, first thing, it will clean your heart and your mind. It will cleanse completely. Second thing, it will remove all the miseries of this material existence. All the anxieties and everything go away. And third thing, what will happen is, it will awaken our love for Krishna. The main reason why we are chanting, because we want to awaken the love for Krishna. Because once the love for Krishna is awakened, because we are all looking for happiness, isn't it? We are all looking for happiness. Everybody, if you ask why are you going and eating an ice cream, because I want to be I like it because it makes me happy, right? If you go for a movie, why are you going? You say yeah, because it makes me happy. Everything was, if we ask anyone, they'll say because it makes me happy. But the happiness that you get in this material world is flickering happiness. 5 minutes and again you're back to normal, right? You eat a nice ice cream, you think, yeah, very, very happy, and again back to normal. You buy a new car for a few days and again you're back to normal, right? But that is all flickering happiness for a short time. But the real happiness in this material world comes by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When all your mind and heart is cleansed, and finally when the love for Krishna will awaken in your heart, you will be bursting with so much of a joy that no matter how many things people want to give you, you'll say, no, I'm not interested, I'm already happy. Just imagine when you have a nice buffet, and then afterwards somebody gives you, can you eat some gulab jam? You say, no, I had a beautiful buffet already, I don't want to eat the gulab jam because I'm already full, So like that, Krishna will give you so much of happiness by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra that you're no more interested in any other sort of flickering happiness. No, that happiness will come and go. No. I want permanent happiness. This is the happiness. And today, and also, one, it will help in awakening the love of God. Second thing, as soon as you keep chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, immediately we are in touch with Krishna. Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar, which means there is no difference between seeing Krishna over there and chanting the Hare Krishna. It's one and the same. So wherever you're going, if you're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is as good as seeing Krishna over here. Because there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's mantra, this Maha Mantra. This is the Nama Rupa, Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna. This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the Nama Rupa of Krishna. Right? So Krishna is giving us this knowledge. And Krishna 500 years ago appeared in the form of a devotee. How many people know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Few of you know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the benefit of others. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself, who appeared in the form of a devotee 500 years ago in a place called Mayapur in West Bengal, right? And why did he come as a devotee? To give us this message that in Kali Yuga, you don't need to go and go into the forest and do jhanam. You don't need to go and read the Vedas. You don't need to do all these things. In Kali Yuga, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam kalo nasti eva nasti eva nasti eva gatiranyata. Which means, in Kali Yuga, the one and only way to attain Krishna Prema, the one and only way to remove all the anxieties from your material mind, to remove all these anxieties, to develop the love for Krishna, to awaken the love for Krishna, is by always chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he came as a devotee called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us this message that the best way in Kali Yuga is to always chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because every yuga there was a separate dharma. In Satya Yuga, the Yuga dharma was people used to meditate for thousands of years. But do we live for even 100 years also? We don't live, right? But in Satya Yuga, they used to live for thousands of years and they used to meditate for thousands of years. Where do we have such kind of a life? Treta Yuga, when Lord Ram was there, it was fire sacrifices. And when Dwapar Yuga, when Lord Krishna was there, it's all about deity worship. But in Kali Yuga, the best yajna that is recommended is the Sankirtani yajna, which means congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that's the reason why in every Krishna temple, you can see in Hare Krishna temple, all of us, we are always chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why? Because this was given by Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself, who came in the avatar of a devotee. And just now we sang this Narasimha prayer, such a beautiful Narasimha prayer, isn't it? Narasimha the avatar showed that how Krishna can appear in different avatars and how we can appear from anywhere. Where did Narasimha appear from? He appeared from a pillar. Can you imagine God appearing from a pillar? He just suddenly he came from a pillar, right? So Krishna is giving us this message that God is everywhere. Sarvata pani padamta, sarvato shishiro mukam, sarvata smriti malloke, sarvam avritta tistati. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, I am everywhere, I am everywhere. But because we have material eyes, because our eyes and our body, everything is material, we are not able to see Krishna. Even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what did Bhagavan Sri Krishna tell Arjuna? Arjuna, I am giving you divine eyes. Now you can see my universal form. After Krishna gave the divine eyes, then only Arjuna was able to see his universal form, right? Similarly, in this material world, our material eyes can see only material objects. So Krishna appeared in the form of Archa Vigraha. But otherwise, Krishna is saying, I'm everywhere, I'm available everywhere. My eyes are everywhere, my ears are everywhere. So wherever you sit and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Krishna is able to see you. He's telling that Sarvata Pani Padanta Sarvato Shishirumak. I'm everywhere. My eyes are everywhere. My ears are everywhere. So if you're sitting in every nook and corner and chanting also, Krishna is able to hear your prayer. But here he showed that even though I'm everywhere, for the purpose of his devotee, to protect his devotee, Krishna showed that for his pure devotee, I can appear from anywhere. Right? Bhakta Prahlad was able to see Krishna everywhere. He was every nook and corner Bhakta Prahlad was able to see, but his father was not able to see. What's the difference? Bhakta Prahlad was a pure devotee of the Lord, so he was able to see the Lord everywhere. But his father was so demoniac, he was so much in a tamoguna and rajoguna that he was not able to see Krishna anywhere. And he was asking, are you saying that Krishna is everywhere? Yes, Father, Krishna is everywhere. And then he was looking at the pillar. Are you saying that Krishna is there in the pillar? Yes, Father, Krishna is there in the pillar also. And then when he went to strike, from there came Narasimha Avatar. So these are the beautiful ways in which Krishna is trying to give us faith that Krishna, for the devotees, he can appear from anywhere, right? So I want to just thank everyone for coming today. For this is real austerity, and in this bad weather also, when it was raining outside, and still you made time for Krishna. That's like, as I said in the beginning, even a small endeavor that we do for Krishna, Krishna will be very, very, very pleased. He never forgets a single small endeavor that we do for him. So can I ask everyone, put your hands up in the mode of surrender and just repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As we always do in every session, like whenever we do the Aarti. So I'll just give one sloka for all of us as a takeaway. So just repeat after me. This is a sloka from Bhagavad Gita. So in this, which Krishna is telling us how easy it is to worship him. So you can just repeat after me. This is just a small takeaway that before you leave. Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati Tad Aham Bhaktya Upahritam Asnami Prayatatmana. So the sloka goes this way. This is from the 9th chapter, Raja Vidya Rajguhya Yoga, verse number 26. Sri Krishna Bhagavan is telling, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Upahritam Asnami Prayatatmana. Sri Krishna Bhagavan is so kind and merciful. He's making it so easy for anybody to worship him. Even if you're not rich, even a simple person can also worship him. Krishna is saying 4 things that you can offer to Krishna in order to please Krishna. What are the 4 things? Patram, Pushpam, Palam Toyam. If you just offer one flower, a fruit, a leaf or water. Flower, fruit, leaf or water. If you offer with bhakti, with lot of love and devotion, Krishna is saying, if you offer me with love and devotion, I will surely accept it. Right? So this is the message we want to give you. So if you never read, just read the Bhagavad Gita daily and just chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And as Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna is saying, I am your best friend. So, in order to awaken this best friend who's sitting in your heart, we should always chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you very much for giving your attention, and we will have maybe Kirtan Prabhuji or maybe some talk. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, maybe a little Kirtan. Thanks, Prabhu. It's okay, I got it. Hare Krishna, everybody. So nice to see you all. Thank you very much to Shyam Prabhu for keeping you on your toes. So, every day around this time, we're trying to do some reading from this book. It's called Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anybody knows what this is about? No? It's in the title. This is all about Krishna. Yeah? And this is a very nice rendering of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Does anybody know what the Srimad Bhagavatam is? Have you heard of Srimad Bhagavatam? Right? It's the next level of study from Bhagavad Gita. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, just surrender unto me, I will protect you from all the reactions of your karma. I will deliver you, and I will give you full protection and bring you back to me. So how do we surrender to Krishna? Well, one of the ways that we can show our surrender is by emptying our mind of all its material concerns and worries, and simply allow ourselves to hear Krishna's message. Yeah? So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna, And Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken all about Krishna. So in the 10th book of Srimad Bhagavatam, the life, the different activities, the different episodes in the Lord's appearance here on earth, they're all described. Yeah. How many years ago did Krishna come? Does anybody know? 5,000 years ago, Krishna was manifesting his pastimes on this planet Earth. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the 10th canto, then all of those pastimes have been described. So we're up to chapter 10. Chapter 10 is called The Deliverance of Nalakuvara and Manigriva. And as we listen, let's keep in mind that we're performing Bhakti Yoga. The first item in the Bhakti Yoga process is known as Shravanam, hearing. So when we hear about Krishna from someone who knows Krishna, from someone who's a dear devotee of Krishna, and we hear as a service, not just for some mental stimulation or as an intellectual exercise, but we're hearing about Krishna because Krishna is pleased when we become interested in Him. And when He sees that we're very eager to hear all about Him, He helps to clear up all the darkness that may exist within our own heart. He enlightens us from within. In the Bhagavad Gita He says, Tesham evanakam partam maham agyana jamtama nashayam yatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. He says that I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy the darkness that exists there with the shining lamp of knowledge. So Krishna Himself enlightens us from within whenever we are serious and eager to hear about Him. Vidhunoti suhritsatam. He cleans the heart of those devotees who have developed the urge to hear His messages. So this is the real function of this temple, is to have an opportunity to come, sit down, and hear about Krishna and chant Krishna's holy names. This is the perfect purpose of this temple. Okay, and as I read, if there's anything that jumps out at you as very interesting or significant or you find to be particularly curious, then just let me know and we can maybe discuss it further. If you have any questions even, we'll try to answer them. Okay. Chapter 10. The deliverance of Nalakuvara and Manigriva. So I'll just give you some context. The Lord is a small child. He has just completed his Damodar Lila. So his mother caught him being naughty, breaking a butter pot, running away from her. Finally she caught up to him. And in the end she was able to tie him to a wooden grinding mortar just to keep him out of any further mischief. So, but that did not stop Krishna. He dragged that wooden grinding mortar in between two huge Arjuna trees, that had grown up in the backyard of Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj. So, let's hear the story of Krishna and these two huge Arjuna trees. The story of the cursing of Nalakuvara and Manigriva and their deliverance by Krishna under the all-blissful desire of the great sage Narada is here described. So what's the background to this? The two great demigods, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, were sons of the treasurer of the demigods, Kuvera, who was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. By the grace of Lord Shiva, Kuvera's material opulences had no limit. As a rich man's sons often become addicted to wine and women, so these two sons of Kuvera were also addicted to wine and sex. Once, these two demigods, desiring to enjoy, entered the garden of Lord Shiva in the province of Kailasha, on the bank of the Mandakini Ganges. There they drank much and engaged in hearing the sweet singing of the beautiful woman who accompanied them in that garden of fragrant flowers. In an intoxicated condition, the two demigods entered the water of the Ganges, which was filled with lotus flowers, and there they began to enjoy the company of the young girls, exactly as a male elephant enjoys female elephants within the water. While they were thus enjoying themselves in the water, all of a sudden, Narada, the great sage, happened to pass that way. He could understand that the demigods Nalakuvara and Manigriva were too much intoxicated and could not even see that he was passing. The young girls, however, were not so much intoxicated as the demigods, and they at once became ashamed at being naked before the great sage Narada. They began to cover themselves with all haste. The two demigod sons of Kuvera were so much intoxicated that they could not appreciate the presence of the sage Narada, and therefore did not cover their bodies. On seeing the two demigods so degraded by intoxication, Narada desired their welfare, and therefore he exhibited his causeless mercy upon them by... Does anybody know what he did? What was his mercy? He cursed them, yeah? By cursing them, he gave them his causeless mercy. What kind of mercy is that? Yeah, a curse. But when one gets cursed by such a saintly person as Narada Muni, then it's not really a curse. Ultimately, it is a great blessing. Because the great sage was compassionate upon them, he wanted to finish their false enjoyment of intoxication and association with young girls, and wanted them to see Lord Krishna face to face. So this is very interesting that these two demigods, they were seemingly enjoying material life to the greatest extent. But Narada Muni, who is a transcendental person, he was feeling compassionate toward them. He didn't consider that these two personalities are enjoying. He thought they're actually suffering. Because material happiness, what we think of as material happiness, is not real happiness. Actually, it is another form of suffering. But as long as we are not in the spiritual position, we can't appreciate that or understand that very well. But we can understand it a little bit when we consider that material enjoyment can never last. Yeah. However much fun one may be having at any particular time, that must come to an end. And enjoyment, material enjoyment, is always followed by some degree of difficulty, suffering. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada, he gives the example that a man is drowning in the ocean. That is kind of the baseline condition of struggling if one is in the midst of the ocean. Yeah, there's no boat, there's no life ring, and one is simply being covered by the waves. So every so often, one is able to, put one's head above the water and take a gasp of air. And in that moment, one thinks, this is great, this is wonderful. I am now relieved. Yes? But the next moment, again, his head will be under the water. Again, the waves will cover him and put him into difficulty. So material enjoyment is just like this. It is like a temporary, momentary relief from all of the other trials and tribulations that accompany this material existence. One may be enjoying the company of young girls for some small amount of time. One may be enjoying the effects of intoxication. Yes? But the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, one cannot escape the problems, the concomitant problems of this material world. Yeah? People go out and get drunk on a Friday night, Saturday night, or any other night. And how do they feel the next day, the next morning? Yeah. Hungover, sick, Yeah, they have to pay for their enjoyment with a measure of suffering. And the sufferings are manifold and increasing. Okay. So Narada Muni was compassionate upon these two demigods. So he wanted to finish their false enjoyment of intoxication and association with young girls. False enjoyment. Temporary and paltry, insignificant compared to the bliss of spiritual life. It's interesting that Srila Prabhupada writes here, he wanted them to see Lord Krishna face to face. Which means that is actual enjoyment, that is actual freedom. So, he conceived of cursing them as follows. He said that the attraction for material enjoyment is due to an increase of the mode of passion. A person in the material world, when favored by the material opulence of riches, generally becomes addicted to three things. So if someone gets some material opulence, gets some riches, generally they become addicted to three things. Can anybody guess what these might be? What three things might someone run after as soon as they get a lot of money and they just think of enjoying themselves as much as possible? What do you think? What three things do people become addicted to when they get money? Any ideas? Gambling, good. Yes. Gambling. And? Sorry?
Alcohol?
Yes, intoxication in all of its forms. Right? I've now got money to pay for something that is immediately gratifying or intoxicating. I can also, throw my money at a chance of increasing it, huh? And then when I lose it all, I go, that's not fair, I was supposed to win. No. You're supposed to lose. That's why the gambling houses exist, because they know that they will profit off of your hope. So yeah, people become addicted to gambling, intoxication, and to sex. Materially opulent men, being puffed up with the accumulation of wealth, also become so merciless that they indulge in killing animals by opening slaughterhouses. And they think that they themselves will never die. Such foolish persons, forgetting the laws of nature, become overly infatuated with the body. They forget that the material body, even though very much advanced in civilization up to the position of the demigods, will finally turn into ashes or stool. This is the destination of this body. It will either be burnt to ashes or it will be eaten by other creatures. And while one is living, whatever the external condition of the body may be, within there is only stool, urine, and various kinds of worms. Thus, being engaged in jealousy and violence to other bodies, materialists cannot understand the ultimate goal of life. And without knowing this goal of life, they generally glide down to a hellish condition in their next life. Such foolish persons commit all kinds of sinful activities on account of the temporary body, and they are even unable to consider whether the body actually belongs to them. Generally, it is said that the body belongs to the persons who feed it. One might therefore consider whether the body belongs to one personally or to the master to whom one renders service. The master of slaves claims full right to the bodies of the slaves because the master feeds the slaves. It may also be questioned whether the body belongs to the father, who is the seed-giving master of the body, or to the mother, who develops the child's body in her womb. Foolish persons are engaged in committing all sorts of sins due to the misconception of identifying the material body with the self. But one should be intelligent enough to understand to whom the body belongs. A foolish person indulges in killing animals to maintain the body, but he does not consider whether the body belongs to him or to his father or mother or a maternal grandfather. Sometimes a father gives his daughter in charity to a person with a view of getting back the daughter's child as a son. The body may also belong to a stronger man who forces it to work for him. Right, you have big business magnates and whatnot. They have many employees, yes, and they tell the employees, right, when to come, when to go, when you can have holiday, when you should be, where you should be, etc. So who belongs to who? Who owns the body? Sometimes a slave's body is sold to a master, and from that day on, the body belongs to the master. And at the end of life, the body belongs to the fire, because the body is given to the fire and burned to ashes. Or the body is thrown into the street to be eaten by the dogs and vultures. So these are all examples that are experienced or perceived in human society at one time or another. As civilizations come and go, as they advance and deteriorate, all of these phenomena appear. The possession of workforce, servants, slaves, the discarding of the dead, especially if one does not have money, then the dead may be discarded on the open road. In such a condition, it is simply food for dogs and vultures. So we should not think that these things cannot happen again in human society. Time really is history repeating itself from one age to another. Before committing all kinds of sins to maintain the body, one should understand to whom the body belongs. So I'm thinking that I'm going to enjoy, this is my body. All right, if I get a little money, I can gamble it. That's fun. I can gamble it to get more. I may spend it on intoxication. I may spend it on sex. I may spend it on trying to satisfy my tongue. By eating meat, which requires the killing of animals. In all these ways, one may think, now I can enjoy. But in order to enjoy in these ways, one is implicated in sin. Because for the sake of my enjoyment, this kind of enjoyment, then one goes against the recommendation of God, the laws of God. Animal killing destroys mercy. Actually, it destroys austerity primarily. We can live perfectly well by eating grains, fruits, vegetables, sugar, milk products. So many things we have for our subsistence purely from a vegetarian diet. There's no need to slaughter animals to subsist. They're unnecessary. So why slaughter a poor animal for the sake of one's tongue? Gambling destroys honesty. Right? People who become addicted to gambling, they become very dishonest. People who become addicted to intoxication become merciless. They have no real compassion for others. All they can think about is their next bout of intoxication. And they will steal from their own relative to sustain their intoxicating habit. So before committing all kinds of sins to maintain the body, one should understand to whom the body belongs. Ultimately, it is concluded that the body is a product of material nature, and at the end, it merges into material nature. Therefore, the conclusion should be that the body belongs to material nature. Right? Where did my body come from? It appeared at a certain point in the last few decades. But where was it before that? I was given this body by the combination of my mother and father. It developed in the womb of my mother, and when the time was right, it came out. So by the arrangement of Krishna's material energy, this body has appeared. And therefore the conclusion is that the body belongs to Krishna's material nature. Right? The mother and father, they don't possess their own bodies, what to speak of the body of the child. Yeah? They perform the act of conception of the child, but they don't know the process that's really going on. They're just experiencing that combination. And if the circumstances are right, pregnancy takes place. But they have no conscious awareness or design in the production of the child's body. It happens by virtue of the workings of Krishna's material energy. One should not wrongly think that the body belongs to him. To maintain a false possession, why should one indulge in killing, right? So I think the body is mine, but it's not mine. Right? It's produced by Krishna's material energy, whom Krishna controls. So it's not my possession. Actually, everything ultimately belongs to God, to Krishna. So for the maintenance of this body, which is not mine, what right do I have to kill any animal, to eat? Why should one kill innocent animals to maintain the body? When a man is infatuated with the false prestige of opulence, he does not care for any moral instruction, but indulges in wine, women, and animal killing. In such circumstances, a poverty-stricken man is often better situated because a poor man thinks of himself in relation to other bodies. A poor man often does not wish to inflict injuries upon other bodies because he can understand more readily that when he himself is injured, he feels pain. So if someone is intoxicated, puffed up by opulence, wealth, and the facility for enjoyment, one may lack any empathy or compassion with those who have not. One may even just simply try to ignore that such people exist. They don't want to think about it. They're just enjoying their life. They've got everything they want. They can pay for anything else they want. And they mix with people like them. And they're not really interested in thinking about the problems of those who struggle in ways that they don't. But a poor man who by his own experience knows what it means to struggle, he can feel more readily the pains of others, and therefore he does not wish to inflict injury on others. Therefore, the great sage Narada considered that because the demigods Nalakuvara and Manigriva were so infatuated by false prestige, they should be put into a condition of life devoid of opulence. Right, this is the result of false pride. They say pride comes before a fall. So you think you're on top of the world, you think you're God's gift to humankind, you think that everything is meant for your consumption, your enjoyment. Well, my dear sir, the time will come soon enough when this opulence will be taken away from you because you're misusing it, you're abusing it. Just like if a spoiled son of a father misuses the father's wealth, right, and spends it unnecessarily, extravagantly, and thoughtlessly, then naturally the father will think, oh, for this boy's own good, I'll restrict him. I'll restrict him. I have to make him a responsible person. Otherwise, he will simply be, a liability to society. So I have to restrict this boy's allowances and make him realize the value of responsible work. So Narada Muni wanted to put these two sons of Kuvera into a situation where they would lose the opulence that they had been enjoying. A person who has a pinprick in his body does not wish others to be pricked by pins. A considerate man in the life of poverty does not wish others to be also put into that condition. Generally, it is seen that one who has risen from a poverty-stricken life and becomes wealthy creates some charitable institution at the end of his life so that other poverty-stricken men might be benefited. Right? Like you get these successful sports people, footballers, and maybe they came from an underprivileged section of society in a difficult country, who knows, and they make a lot of money, right, playing football in a top league, and then they decide to help children back in their own country, kids who grew up in similar circumstances to them. In short, a compassionate poor man may consider others' pains and pleasures with empathy. A poor man is seldom puffed up with false pride, and he may be freed from all kinds of infatuation. He may remain satisfied by whatever he gets for his maintenance, by the grace of the Lord. To remain in the poverty-stricken condition is a kind of austerity. According to Vedic culture, therefore, the Brahmanas, as a matter of routine, keep themselves in a poverty-stricken condition to save themselves from the false prestige of material opulence. False prestige, due to advancement of material prosperity, is a great impediment for spiritual emancipation. So we're not saying that it's a bad thing to have facility, wealth, opulence. What's bad is that one is falsely proud of that opulence. One is fostering false prestige. Because that false prestige is a great impediment for spiritual emancipation, liberation. A poverty-stricken man cannot become unnaturally fat by eating more and more. And on account of not being able to eat more than he requires, his senses are not very turbulent. When the senses are not very turbulent, he cannot become violent. This is an interesting sequence. So if one is poverty-stricken, right, the tendency is to not eat more than one requires. Because of not being able to eat more than one requires, then the senses are not very turbulent, right? One who eats a lot and more than is necessary, the senses can be very strong and demanding, which in turn can lead to excessive force, anger, and violence. But if the senses are tamed, under control, not turbulent, then not much tendency to become violent. Another advantage of poverty is that a saintly person can easily enter a poor man's house, and thus the poor man can take advantage of the saintly person's association. A very opulent man does not allow anyone to enter his house. Therefore, the saintly person cannot enter. According to the Vedic system, a saintly person takes the position of a mendicant, so that on the plea of begging something from the householder, he can enter any house. The householder, who has usually forgotten everything about spiritual advancement, because he is busy maintaining family affairs, can be benefited by the association of a saintly person. There is a great chance for the poor man to become liberated through association with a saint. Of what use are persons who are puffed up with material opulence and prestige if they are bereft of the association of saintly persons and devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And so you may have a lot of opulence, and you may feel yourself very special because of it, very puffed up. But if that means that you miss out on the association of saintly persons, because you don't need anybody, you don't need anything, and no one should enter your place, yeah? No one is good enough to enter your special place, then you're bereft of saintly association, and all of your opulence is useless, absolutely useless. Because the real benefit in human form of life is to get the association of spiritually realized personalities. To have the association of someone who is close to God. By that association, all perfection becomes possible. The great sage Narada thereafter thought that it was his duty to put those demigods into a condition where they could not be falsely proud of their material opulence and prestige. Narada was compassionate and wanted to save them from their fallen life. They were in the mode of darkness, and being therefore unable to control their senses, they were addicted to sex life. It was the duty of a saintly person like Narada to save them from their abominable condition. In animal life, the animal has no sense to understand that he is naked. But Kuvera was the treasurer of the demigods, a very responsible man, and Nalakuvara and Manigriva were two of his sons. And yet, they became so animalistic and irresponsible that they could not understand, due to intoxication, that they were naked. Yeah. No shame. So the demigods have a very easy facility for enjoyment. Right? They're existing on higher planets where the standard of material enjoyment is much greater than on this earth. The treasure of the demigods is known as Kuvera, and these two boys, they were his sons. But they became so puffed up on account of their position and what they could enjoy that they were spoiling their life, completely spoiling it. And they became shameless. They didn't even have a sense that they were naked and it was inappropriate to go around naked, and especially before a sage like Narada Muni. To cover the lower part of the body is a principle of human civilization. And when man or woman forget this principle, they become no better than animals. Narada therefore thought that the best punishment for them was to make them immovable living entities, or trees. Trees are, by nature's law, immovable. Although trees are covered by the mode of ignorance, they cannot do harm. The great sage Narada thought it fitting that although the brothers would be punished to become trees, by his mercy they would continue to keep their memory and be able to know why they were being punished. Right? That's such a blessing. Many times people go through life and they think, well, why is this happening to me? And how is this fair? And why has even if someone accepts the principle of karma, one quite often is unable to trace out the cause of one's present difficulty. So if by the grace of a personality like Narada Muni, one has the memory of the cause of one's present difficulty, that is a great blessing. So he cursed them to be trees. After changing the body, a living entity generally forgets his previous life. But in special cases, by the grace of the Lord, as with Nalakuvara and Manigriva, one can remember. Sage Narada therefore contemplated that the two demigods should remain for 100 years in the time of the demigods, in the form of trees, and after that they would be fortunate enough to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face by His causeless mercy. And thus they would be again promoted to the life of the demigods and become great devotees of the Lord. Right, so the demigods are given extra special facility because they are inclined toward Krishna. The good sons of a wealthy father naturally are trusted with greater facility, opulence. Because they can be trusted, because they will use that resource in the service of the Father. So the same thing is expected of the demigods in the higher planets. They're given greater freedom and greater facility and greater opulence so that they can make spiritual progress more and more. But if they abuse such facilities, if they become bewildered and intoxicated by the opulence that they've been given, then it entirely defeats the purpose. So in the case of Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, they were effectively punished. Right? You need to be corrected. Their consciousness is not helpful to them, not helpful to anyone who associates with them. So, okay, now you'll find out what's really going on. Trees, take the birth of trees. Remember why you're in this position now. Yeah? And as a result, you'll have time to think it up. And in that austere condition, some purification may be effected. But the real benediction is to come. What happens to these trees? After this, the great sage Narada returned to his abode. Okay, so after he had cursed them to become trees, he returned to his abode known as Narayanashrama. And the two demigods turned into trees, known as twin Arjuna trees. The two demigods were favored by the causeless mercy of Narada and given a chance to grow in Nanda's courtyard and see Lord Krishna face to face. Hare Krishna. Although child Krishna was bound up to the wooden mortar, he began to proceed toward the twin trees in order to fulfill the prophecy of his great devotee, Narada. Lord Krishna knew that Narada was his great devotee and that the trees standing before him as twin Arjuna trees were actually the sons of Kuvera. So nothing is unknown to Krishna, right? He's playing the part of a child, crawling in the courtyard of his father, and he knows these two trees who have been here for so long time. What did it say? 100 years of the demigods. That's a long time. Practically 6 months here is one day there. So they were a long time as trees in Nanda Maharaj's courtyard. Krishna knew. Here is Nala Kuvera and Manigriva. They were cursed by Narada. Actually, they received Narada's blessing. Now I'm going to fulfill the purpose of that blessing. Yes, he says, I must now fulfill the words of my great devotee, Narada. Krishna thought. Then he proceeded through the passage between the two trees. Although he was able to pass through the passage, the large wooden mortar stuck horizontally between the trees. Taking advantage of this, with great strength, Lord Krishna began to pull the rope which was tied to the mortar. As soon as he pulled, the two trees, with all their branches and limbs, fell down with a great sound. Out of the broken, fallen trees came two great personalities, shining like blazing fire. All sides became illuminated and beautiful by their presence. The two purified personalities immediately came before child Krishna and bowed down to offer their respects and prayers in the following words. So, having existed as trees for so long, and finally meeting the Lord face to face and being liberated by Him, what are they going to say? I want to hear. What have these two characters got to say now that they've been through all this? They say, Dear Lord Krishna, you are the original personality of Godhead, master of all mystic powers. Learned Brahmanas know very well that this cosmic manifestation is an expansion of your potencies, which are sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest. You are the original provider of the life, body, and senses of all living entities. So they're recognizing that Krishna is the provider. You are the eternal God, Lord Vishnu, who is all-pervading, the imperishable controller of everything, and you are eternal time. You are the original source of the cosmic manifestations, which is acting under the spell of the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Right? So again, they're recognizing Krishna as the source of everything. You are living as the supersoul in all the multi-forms of living entities, and you know very well what is going on within their bodies and minds. So they're recognizing that Krishna, as the supersoul, He is everywhere. Right? Krishna is not a limited person, He is an unlimited person, and He expands Himself into everything. Yes? And as that expansion who exists everywhere and in everything, He is known as the Supersoul. Does anyone know another Sanskrit name for this term, Supersoul? Paramatma. Yeah. So I am the Atma, or the Jivatma, let's say, the tiny Atma. And Krishna, when He enters into everything, He is known as Parama Atma, Supreme Atma. So in this body, there is the Jivatma, me, and there is the Paramatma, Krishna. Both of us are here. But I am the one that is identifying with this body, thinking this is me, and, all of these things here are meant for my enjoyment. Whereas Krishna is simply sitting beside me and watching me, witnessing everything that I do and everything that I think. So He's the Supersoul. He's the Supersoul in all multi-forms of living entities, and He knows very well what is going on within their bodies and minds. He knows everything. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says you should meditate on the Supreme as He who knows everything, past, present, and future. Therefore, these two demigods are continuing their prayers. Therefore, you are the supreme director of all activities, of all living entities. But although you are in the midst of everything which is under the spell of the material modes of nature, you are not affected by such contaminated qualities. Right, so they're saying Krishna is in the middle of it all. I mean, He's... what can you say? He's in the middle of it, He's at the beginning, He's at the end, He's just like there's nowhere you can go where Krishna isn't there. He's everywhere. But even though He's in the midst of it all, He's not affected by the material qualities. Yeah. No one under the jurisdiction of the material modes can understand your transcendental qualities, which existed before the creation. Therefore, you are called the Supreme Transcendence. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of you, Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Brahman, who are always glorified by your personal, internal potencies. Are there any questions? You're good? Okay. In this material world, you make yourself known only by your different incarnations. Although you assume different types of bodies, these bodies are not part of the material creation. Just like if you see at the front of the temple room on the left-hand side on the wall. Yeah? The picture closest to the altar is of Lord Nrsimhadev. Right? He's famous as the half-man, half-lion incarnation of Krishna. So in this way the Lord comes here to this world in various forms of incarnation for different purposes. In that particular incarnation, he came to rescue his devotee Prahlad, who was only a 5-year-old boy. A small boy, being harassed by his demon father, Hiranyakashipu. So Lord Nrsimhadev, when he finally had enough, then he appeared and he finished this big demon. And he saved the small boy Prahlad Maharaj. So Krishna, although he comes in these different incarnations, and he's known by these different forms, all of these different forms are not part of the material creation. They're all spiritual forms. They're always full of the transcendental potencies of unlimited opulence, strength, beauty, fame, wisdom, and renunciation. Right, so these are 6 qualities that are very attractive. And Krishna has them all in full. He has all beauty, all strength, all fame, all wealth, all knowledge, and all renunciation. In the material existence, there is a difference between the body and the owner of the body. But because you appear in your original spiritual body, there is no such difference for you. When you appear, your uncommon activities indicate that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right, when we appear in this world, we take on a machine. Yantrarudhani Maya Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshir Junatishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarudhani Maya Ya. Krishna says, I'm the Lord of all living entities. Yes? And I rotate their bodies from one lifetime to the next. And they are as if riding on machines. This body is just like a machine made of material energy. And this machine is always giving us trouble, isn't it? Right, just like right now, I'm manifesting some kind of cold here, so I'm negotiating, the symptoms of some kind of cold. So the machine is always giving some kind of trouble, especially as it gets older. More and more troubles offered by the machine. But Krishna, when he comes here, he does not take a machine. He does not take on a material body. Rather, he appears just as he is, in his original spiritual form. When you appear, your uncommon activities indicate that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such uncommon activities are not possible for anyone in material existence. You, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, cause the birth and death, as well as the liberation of the living entities. And you are full with all your plenary expansions. Right, so all of the Lord's different expansions, right, including Lord Nrsimhadev, they all exist in him, in Krishna. You can bestow on anyone all kinds of benedictions. The Lord is not a poor man. If he wants to offer some blessing, some benediction, some gift to anybody, he can do that, beyond one's wildest imagination. O Lord, O source of all auspiciousness and goodness, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. You are the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, the supreme source of peace, and the Supreme Personality in the dynasty of King Yadu. O Lord, our Father, known as Kuvera, the demigod, is your servant. Similarly, the great sage Narada is also your servitor, and only by their grace have we been able to see you personally. We therefore pray that we may always be engaged in your transcendental loving service by speaking only about your glories and hearing about your transcendental activities. This is a very important sentence. So, having expressed their awareness of who Krishna really is, and their position, their humble position in relation to Krishna, who is the cause of everything, what is their request? They say, we therefore pray that we may always be engaged in your transcendental loving service. Okay? How? What does it mean? They say, by speaking only about your glories and hearing about your transcendental activities. So this is transcendental loving service. Speaking about the Lord's glories, hearing about His transcendental activities. This is loving service. So, if we come to the temple and we have an opportunity to repeat Krishna's glories and to hear about His transcendental activities, then we're being engaged in the Lord's transcendental loving service. This is the perfection of life. Of course, it's not expected that we're perfect at this immediately, but we are engaging in the process. And as we engage in the process, then ultimately the perfection must come. Eventually, ultimately, especially if we keep going properly. So they continue. May our hands and other limbs be engaged in your service, and our minds always be concentrated at your lotus feet. And our heads always bow down before the all-pervading universal form of your Lordship. Okay. So they've taken a humble position, right? I mean, these are very humble prayers. These guys, they were intoxicated, they were puffed up. Yeah, they weren't ashamed to walk around naked, even in front of Narada Muni. So they got their just rewards. They were cursed, but that was actually a blessing. And what is the result of the curse? Now they have become sober. Now they're sober. Now they understand the actual position. Now they understand what is their... now they understand where their bread is buttered. Now they understand who they're dependent on. And they recognize what is their real benefit. And their real benefit is to be in a loving relationship with the Lord. And they're praying for that. So they have come to the point of realization by Krishna's mercy. By Narada Muni's mercy, they have been blessed with spiritual knowledge. When the demigods, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, finished their prayers, the child, Lord Krishna, the master and proprietor of Gokula, bound to the wooden grinding mortar by the ropes of Yashoda, smiled and said. So, this is Krishna's response to the two demigods. He says, "It was already known to me that my great devotee Narada Muni had shown his causeless mercy by saving you from the abominable condition of pride due to possessing extraordinary beauty and opulence in a family of demigods." So he says, you were saved from the abominable condition of pride. What were they proud of? They were proud of their extraordinary beauty and their extraordinary opulence in a family of demigods. He has saved you from gliding down into the lowest condition of hellish life. All these facts are already known to me. You are very fortunate because not only were you cursed by him, but you had the great opportunity to see him. If someone is able, by chance, to see face to face a great saintly person like Narada, who is always serene and merciful to everyone, then immediately that conditioned soul becomes liberated. This is exactly like being situated in the full light of the sun. There cannot be any visionary impediment. Right? If the sun is unobstructed, then we can see everything in the daytime. Nothing is hidden. In the same way, if one comes face to face with such a saintly person, then one becomes liberated, everything becomes clear. Therefore, O Nalakuvara and Manigriva, your lives have now become successful because you have developed ecstatic love for me. Right? This is Krishna saying that the success of your life is that now you have developed ecstatic love for me. This is your last birth within material existence. Now you can go back to your father's residence in the heavenly planets. And by remaining in the attitude of devotional service, you will be liberated in this very life. Okay, so they've done their time. They went to the naughty corner, you could say. They did their time. And now they have learned the lesson. Now they can go back home to their father. And they can continue in their devotional service. And at the end of their present life as demigods, they will completely be liberated from the material universe. After this, the demigods circumambulated the Lord many times and bowed down before him again and again. And thus they left. The Lord remained bound up with ropes to the grinding mortar. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 10th chapter of Krishna, the deliverance of Nalakuvara and Manigriva. Hare Krishna. So now we're going to have Bhagavad Gita class. Srinivas Prabhu, are you giving class? Yeah? Okay, I'll help you get the Vyasasana. So please stay for the Bhagavad Gita class, and then at 7 p.m. we will have Arti, Gaur Arti. Almost every day.
Nice way to pass time as well. What time do you start?
Usually about 4:45. Thanks for listening. You can sit. The answer to that is almost. I'll see how well I can.
This is your first time? First year? Jaya Radha. I'm going to sing a song glorifying Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. This is by Bhaktivedanta Thakur. This is Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan with Mother Yasoda, cowherd boys, the gopis, lifting Govardhan hill, like that. I sing for a few minutes, then we start the Bhagavad Gita class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari It's 4:22, yeah? Yeah. 4:22, yeah. You can put this behind. So I'm going to say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then you repeat after me, yeah? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Are you all familiar with Sanskrit? You know? You can read? You can read, right? So I'll repeat one line, then you can repeat after me. Yach labda santastisto dandva vito vimusura sama sadva siddhadayo cha kripa na lalna nibyate yachit yad labda santastisto dandvato Yad labda sanesisto Dandva vitavimu saraha Sama siddva sado yacha Kiprajana nividyate. Anyone want to try? Want to try? You can look at the board. Don't worry if you make mistake, it's all practice.
Yarikshala pasantushto
Yadipta navada santusto
Dvandvatito vivatsara
Tandva vito vivosta
Samasiddha vasiddhacha
Samasiddha sabastascha
Kritvadina nibhadyate
Kiprabdina labhyate. Okay. You want to try? Yachita labada sintusto Tandva vito vimutsaraha Samasiddha Kabdadapi nadibhyate. Okay, word for word. So I'm going to repeat the Sanskrit, then you repeat after me, then I say the English. So, Yachaya, you say after me. Yacha. Out of his own accord. Anyway, that's labda with gain. Sanastita satisfied. Dandvadva duality. Atita surpassed. Vimutsara free from envy. Sama steady. Sado in success. Asado failure. Cha also. Kitva doing. Api although. Na never. Nibyate becomes affected. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of his own accord, who is free from duality, does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled although performing actions. Srila Prabhupada's purport. A Krishna-conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained of their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly as far as in his power, and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. However, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world. Duality of the material world is first in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. A Krishna conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore he is steady both in success and in failure. These are the signs. These signs are visible when one is full in transcendental knowledge. Oma Gyan Timandasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chakshur Tamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhistam Stapidamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kanamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayani Vishesha Shunyavadi Pasta Chaitatayane. So, in this fourth chapter, in this verse, Krishna is teaching, don't become greedy. This man is a millionaire, now I have to become a millionaire. This is material disease. The communists and the capitalists, they are saying the profit should be divided amongst us, not them. That is not the solution to the frying pan to the fire. Everyone is working for some are getting everyone is working. Some are getting thousands of rupees. So Prabhupada is giving his lecture, giving an example. So some people get thousands of pounds. They don't work very hard. Other people, they will have to work very hard and they just get enough to have a meal. So this is the karma, how it comes in. It's not that if one gets thousands of rupees, he will become satisfied. So even if one gets thousands of pounds, he will not become happy. One should be satisfied in one's position. According to one's karma, one is getting his results. So, the example Srila Prabhupada gives is in the hospital, a doctor gets one person to eat a nice plate of food, another person he gets him to fast. So, same thing with us, that we have been, according to our karma, we have been given a certain body. And according to that body, we should be satisfied, whatever comes our way. But so the whole cause of becoming dissatisfied is because we have become envious of Krishna. So Prabhupada quotes a verse from Prema Vivata, Jiva, he quotes a famous verse, Krishna Poliye Ji Bhoge Vancha Kare Maya Japite Kare. That at some point we were with Krishna in the spiritual world, but we wanted to imitate Krishna or become Krishna. So that's why we came to the material world. So the example is given, just like the child wants to cook like the mother. The child is young, he cannot cook like the mother. So the mother gives a toy cooker to the child to be satisfied. So in the spiritual world, we cannot be like Krishna. He is a supreme enjoyer. So in order to satisfy us, Krishna allows us, he creates the material world. He says, try and enjoy like me here. So, he says in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhaktanam yagatapasam sarvaloka maheswaram suridam sarvabhutanam gatanam sampinirupachite. Krishna says, I am the Lord and Master of all planets and demigods. I am the center of all sacrifices. And I am the best friend of all living entities. So, in the middle line, Suridam Sarvabhutanam, Prabhupada translates, he says, in this world there are three kinds of friends. There is a Bandhu, Mitra and Surit. So Bandhu means distant friend. Everyone has distant friends in this world. Bandhu, Mitra, Yeah. Mitra means social friend. He helps you in your work. When you're working, he gives you assistance, gives you guidance. But Surit is the best friend, because Krishna in the heart, he's always with you. So, example is given, just like if you all suddenly become very poor, if you're very rich and you suddenly become very poor, all your friends will leave you. They will not be with you. But Krishna is such a friend that he always be with you. He never leaves you. Even if you get a body of a hog or a dog, Krishna is always there with you. He never leaves you. So Krishna is such a friend that he wants you to come back to him. So, the difference of the humans and animals is, the human beings, they have this high intelligence to become God conscious. They can understand about turning to Krishna. Animals cannot do that. So the difference between the humans and the animals have low consciousness. Their consciousness is not very high. There is a group of people who study animals. I forget they have a specific name. So even they say the animals have low consciousness. But humans got the high consciousness. But if human beings act like animals, then they are no better than hogs and dogs. So animals are eating, humans are eating, animals are mating, humans are mating, animals defending, humans are defending, animals have sex, humans have sex. So if the humans are doing the same as animals, then they are like hogs and dogs. There is no difference. So Rishabdev, in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, let's see, Rishabdev says, "My dear boys, of all living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded the human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even to the hogs and dogs, that is stool. One should engage in finances and austerity to attain the divine position of devotion service. By such activity, one's heart is purified. When one attains this position of devotion service, by such activity, one's heart is purified. When and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever." So the understanding is that we have to understand who we are. So Srila Prabhupada in this morning's lecture, he gave an example. He said, in one lecture he gave a good example saying, at the present moment we are attached to our wives and our children and families and like this. But say for example, all of a sudden your wife or your child died. Your attraction would not be there. How long would you keep the dead body for? You won't keep it, you will get rid of it immediately. So the example that Prabhupada is giving is that ultimately we are attracted to the soul. But we are identifying with the body, that's the problem. So why are we attracted to the soul? Because ultimately the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So on the higher platform we are attracted to Krishna. But because we have been conditioned for many lifetimes in this material world, we are identifying with the material things to the spiritual things. We are trying to get that eternal happiness which is in the spiritual world through matter. But the happiness cannot be achieved through matter. It can be only achieved in relationship with Krishna. So, this is why, in order to connect us to Krishna, Krishna sends his devotees to guide us. So, Srila Prabhupada came in recent times. He opened 108 temples, he translated over 70 books, he wrote 5,000 letters, he guided the devotees how to run his mission, he created GBC body, he gave guidance how to run the temples, how to come for the morning program. This is all to train everyone how to connect to Krishna again. Because in the material world, there are two kinds of transcendentalists. There's the impersonalists and the personalists. The impersonalists, their goal is to merge into the Brahman. They do the same austerities like we do in our devotional service in the Hare Krishna movement. But their goal is to merge into Brahman. But Prabhupada goes further to explain, to go into the Brahman will not make you happy. And the example is given, just like if someone gives you a nice house with all the opulences, but the condition is you have to be by yourself in that house. You can have no association. Would anyone accept? No one will accept. Because we are sentient beings, we require association. We are social beings. So going to the Brahman will not make you happy. So the temple program which we are doing in the morning from 4:30 onwards in the Hare Krishna movement is like the training ground how to enter the spiritual world. So we have Mangalati, Tulsi Puja, we have Japa, Hare Krishna Japa, we do Guru Puja to Prabhupada, Hare Krishna Kirtan, we have Bhagavatam class. This is all like a training program to help you to develop a relationship with Krishna. Because once you know the greatness of Krishna, then surrender to him becomes easy. This process of Krishna consciousness is for the conditioned soul is difficult because of attachments he has in this material world for many lifetimes. So, Srila Prabhupada, he explains how in the spiritual body, there is no need to eat, defend, mate. There is no need to do these things. But because we have the material body, then we have to eat. Example is given like Raghunath Das Goswami, he used to eat buttermilk every 3 days. But because we have the material body, we have to look after the body also. So in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains the importance of understanding how we are not the body. He says, the wise neither lament for the living nor for the dead. And Krishna gives many examples to show how the body is changing but the soul doesn't change. So we have to learn to become dhira. Dhira means sober. So, and that can be done if we read this, we learn to see through the eyes of Shastra. So if we learn to see through the eyes of Shastra, then we'll see things more clearly. So, is Guru Sadhu's Shastra. If we go by the four imperfections, The living entity has four imperfections: a tendency to cheat, make mistakes, be illusion, imperfect senses. So the proper line is Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. And also Krishna in the heart will guide us also. Because we cannot listen to Krishna's guidance in the heart, the devotees are there to guide us. There's an interesting example. I read this Bhakti Mag Maharaj, Jai Shishirad Gokulanda Ki Jai. The Bhakti Mag Maharaj, he traveled all throughout Canada 3-4 times. And Canada is big, so he was going alone by himself at some point, walking all throughout Canada. And at some point, he felt lonely because it's such a lonely area. So he felt the lack of association of devotees. He had someone supporting him, but he get that realization. And he's looking behind the curtain. You can't look behind the curtain. Yeah. And and Maharaj gave an interesting insight. He said how when he was traveling in this Canada, going throughout Canada, he went to the mountainside. And okay. So Maharaj had a desire to see the bare incarnation of Krishna. So bears only come out at night time, but in this instance the bear came out during the daytime. Huge bear. And he was going towards Bhakti Mag Maharaj and Garuda. And they felt frightened what to do. All of a sudden a truck comes by and a bear runs into the forest. So Maharaj gave his realization, you have to be careful what you pray to Krishna for. And then, so because Maharaj has been long time practicing, he could enter that situation and see Krishna everywhere. Now because we are conditioned by a bodily platform and we are very emotional, for us to see Krishna in that situation would have been difficult. So this is why we have to do the practices of Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna, by listening Srimad Bhagavatam class, by reading Prabhupada's books. And in this way our intelligence will become more clear how to be in line with Krishna's plan. In this purport, he says that Krishna consciousness does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He satisfies with gains which obtain of their own accord. So, an example of this is Madhavendra Puri. Now, this is to show the example on what level he was on and what level we are on. So, Madhavendra Puri, he was in Govardhan Hill. In the Govardhan Hill, he was in one of the Govinda Kund. And he wouldn't ask anyone for anything. He would just chant Hare Krishna. And if someone came and gave him something, then he would accept it. So Krishna was so happy with that kind of surrender that he personally came and gave him milk. So we can see the comparison of what level we are on, see? If we didn't get our prasad in the morning, we become disturbed. We think, what's happening? No prasad. So in this lecture I heard by Prabhupada, 422, he also made the same point. He said, we should be happy if Krishna gives us a simple meal or a full meal, or opulent meal. We should accept whatever Krishna gives us as his mercy. So Prabhupada gave the example, he said, the prasadam in ISKCON is falling from the sky. And he gave the example, we have over 100 temples, we have over 80 devotees in these temples, hundreds of devotees. We don't know how the money is coming in, but everything is going on. We have $80,000 expense every month. But how things are going up, we don't know. So ultimately Krishna is supplying. So, all this happens from the chanting of Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada initially he said 64 rounds, devotees couldn't do it. Then he said 32 rounds, they found that difficult. Then he said 16 minimum. So, in order to do this chanting, there's a science. The science is you have to get up early in the morning. Early night and early morning. So early morning the chanting goes fast. From 2 to 4 it goes very fast. From 5 to 7 that's also good. After 7 it's a struggle because things start happening after 7. People start waking up and doing things. But there's no hard and fast rules to chanting the holy name. It can be done any time. But the point is you have to give priority. So I was reading this book, it's called Prema Vivata. It's this book by Jagannatha Pandit. And in this book he quotes an interesting example. Lord Chaitanya is speaking to Krishna Das. So Krishna Das is explaining the benefits of the holy name. That even if someone is very degraded, someone is very fallen, someone has done bad things like Ajamil did, he stole things, he raped women, he killed animals, so many bad things. If that person chants the holy name, he can be delivered. So Krishna Das asked Lord Chaitanya the question that how is it holy name is so merciful, the masses of people don't take to it. So Lord Chaitanya said, in order to constantly chant the holy name, you have to have faith in two things. Holy name is not different from Krishna, and holy name is full of unlimited potencies. If you have faith in these two things, then you can chant the holy name all the time. So, it says, simply by chanting the holy name, you can be delivered, going back to Godhead. But the problem is, because we have been conditioned in this material body for many lifetimes, to gain that connection to the holy name, it takes a long time. This is why it's important to have a spiritual master. By linking to taking guidance of spiritual master, by him praying to Krishna on your behalf, you become free from all your conditioned nature. And your link to Krishna becomes very quick. Only thing is, in order to come to that stage of having a spiritual master, one has to be clean slate. One should not have any agendas separately from serving Krishna. So the spiritual master trains us up how to connect to Krishna. And in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, Prabhupada explains, Krishna consciousness is only for the serious person. An example is given, just like in order to enter law college, in order to become a lawyer, you have to enter law college. If you don't enter law college, you cannot become a lawyer. In the same way, Krishna consciousness is like law college. But the process is very simple, but it's only simple for those who are serious. If someone is not serious, he cannot take to Krishna consciousness. It will take him a long, long time. But it's, if one associates with devotees, and one hears regularly the Srimad Bhagavatam, reads the Prabhupada's books, if he's sincerely trying to chant the holy name, then in time one will become materially fatigued. And then one becomes materially fatigued, he can turn to Krishna much easier. So Prabhupada summarized it. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is a nice process, chanting, dancing and feasting. People do it in the outside world also, but they do it in the wrong way. They do it under the modes of nature. But in Krishna consciousness, we do it in a proper way. We do it on the spiritual platform, by doing what's pleasing to Krishna. So, they asked Prabhupada the question, is there any challenges in Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada said, coming to the mode of goodness. The mode of goodness means you have to practice discipline. Rising early in the morning. That's the first priority you have to give. Or if that's not possible, you have to make priority where you can chant your rounds without no disturbance. So, one has to have that conviction that the material body cannot give you happiness. Material body is made to give you misery. The material body which you have, it is temporary, is full of misery, and is full of ignorance. So having this body will not make you really happy. Having the body which is eternity, full of knowledge and bliss, will give you happiness. So in order to come to that platform, you have to associate with devotees and practice this process. And learn from devotees how to take to Krishna consciousness. Because the difference is, in the temple, we depend on mercy, blessings. So by blessings of devotees, you advance. The material world is based on karma, good and bad. You get entangled. So it's that's why Prabhupada, he explained, quoting Narottam Das Thakur, saying that one should avoid jnanis, thagis, yogis and mixed devotees. So one should aspire to associate with advanced devotees. And by the association, one will in time will become advanced. The example is given of King Niga. King Niga, he was into piety. This is in the Krishna book story given. He's giving so many cows out to the brahmanas that one cow came back to him and he gave to another brahmana, and the other brahmana who gave the cow to, he became dissatisfied. He said, where's my cow, you know? So he tried to plead, saying that I'll give you both 100,000 cows, don't worry. But still they would not accept. The story behind that in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is that somehow in his piety, King Niga, he pleased a devotee of Krishna. He built him a temple, and a recitation of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are going on. And that devotee blessed him, in this life you'll see Krishna. So somehow these incidents took place of the cow which was given and that came back and he gave it to another brahmana. Then King Niga had to see Yamaraj. The Yamaraj told him, you've done so much piety, you can enjoy so much if you want, or you can enjoy your impiety. So by providence, he chose to enjoy his impiety. So he became a lizard. When the Pandavas went to Ambika Kanla, they went in that place, they saw a big lizard. And they told Krishna, we couldn't take it out from this lake, it was too big. So Krishna came and touched it with his foot. And that the lizard became King Nigga again. So from this story we can see how it's not with our own strength we can do it. We need blessings from devotees. Like this King Nigga, he got blessing of a devotee, and then he could see Krishna. So Prabhupada says, one can take to Krishna consciousness, it can take 1 second or it can take millions of lifetimes. It's how much are you ready to accept the process? So Prabhupada gave another point of view. He said, if you follow someone who's perfect, you become perfect. If you follow a cheater, you become cheated. So if you follow Krishna, you become perfect. If you follow someone who's not following Krishna, you become cheated. So even in many of the letters, Prabhupada made that point. He said, even having arguments and counter-arguments on different shastric injunctions and different discussions will not really help you. Chanting Hare Krishna will help you at the time of death. Holy name will help you. Even having discussions on different topics, this argument, that argument will not help you. Because that's based on mental speculation, it's based on your judgments, and another person giving higher argument doesn't lead to anything. But following the Mahajans, chanting the holy name gives you perfection. Unfortunately, because people are attached to material gain, people's vision gets covered. If we are sincere and just depend on Krishna's mercy, then Krishna will make sure that we are successful in our goal. There was an example, this was in South India, where devotees were making life members. They went to one place. That's where Lord Ram, they built the bridge for Lord Ram. What's the name of that place? Famous place anyway. Yeah. Very bad. And devotees went for the life member. They tried to do life members in one place. And they couldn't do any life members. They tried. Next place, they just sat down and they were just hearing and chanting about Krishna. And they made 22 life members. So they asked Prabhupada the question, that how is this possible? In one place we couldn't make any life members, the other place we just sat down and chanting, hearing and chanting, with 22 life members. Prabhupada said, with you devotees, you are too materially attached to your results. You depend on Krishna, He'll make sure that you'll become successful if you're sincere. Any questions or comments? Okay.
You said because we have material body, then we have to eat.
Prabhupada said that in his lecture. Yeah.
So does it mean that in the spiritual world we don't have to eat?
Well, the thing is, if you increase your chanting of the holy name, right, you increase that taste of doing more rounds, then the eating will go less automatically in time. That's the way you take it, you know. Increase the chanting more, hearing more, Bhagavatam, then the eating will go less automatically.
So
Because
in the spiritual world there is no prasada?
Well, because they have spiritual bodies, it's different, you know. I don't think they eat like us. Take the example of 6 Goswamis. How much were they eating? Very little, you know. I think dealing with the material body, you have to eat to live, not live to eat.
Yes.
This is the way you do it. Who's this Sohatra Maharaj? He came out every 3 days, from his room in Mayapur. Then he used to eat something. He was always chanting day and night Hare Krishna. When they opened his room, they found him cross-legged sitting with a bead bag. Left his body. So the more you get into chanting and hearing, then the body doesn't affect. Something you have to practice. Over time it comes, Hare Krishna. It comes over time, I mean, the thing is you have to get yourself nishta, firm faith. So that takes practice. Now we are in a stage of anattanibriti. So it's something you have to practice over time. So you can come to that stage if you practice from Ekadashi to Ekadashi. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, from Ekadashi to Ekadashi you can judge your spiritual advancement.
You can
Judge your spiritual advancement. So first Ekadashi you take vows of chanting. Next Ekadashi you can see how you're increasing your chanting. Or reading, whatever,
So, still not clear in the spiritual world. Surely they eat, we have Krishna eating.
Well, the thing is, you see, in order to find out, you have to go there. I can't tell you from here. It's hard for me to picture from here what's happening there. But the reality is, the 6 Goswamis, they ate very little. They didn't eat much, very, very minimum. You look at Sanatana Goswami, when he had the temple of Madan Mohan, he had dry chapatis, The deity of Madan Mohan had to tell him, right, that why are you not giving me salt? So Sanatana Goswami told the deity of Krishna, he told Madan Mohan, like, if I give you salt, then you'll ask something more, And you give me a service that I have to translate these books. So you have to look after yourself. He told him like that. You know the story how the boat got stuck in the Yamuna and the boatman, he didn't know what to do. And then somehow the boat got freed, and then the person came to Sanatana Goswami saying that, how can I serve you? Then through him the temple got built, right? He built the temple of Madan Mohan. In Vrindavan he built that temple. So it seems like, as far as devotees go, they live simple. But it's something you have to work on. It doesn't come overnight. Something you have to work on.
No, I was just wondering, maybe there is some information about how, because surely they have feasts.
I mean, you look at Srila Prabhupada's example then. Srila Prabhupada fasted at some point. He didn't eat anything. Right?
When he was not well.
But even at some point, Prabhupada, he was, according to astrology, he was meant to live for 100 years. Prabhupada fasted at some point. He did all his mission. He opened 108 temples, he translated the books, he made whatever he had to do, GBC authorities, he had to establish, made sure his centers were running. At some point, Prabhupada just fasted. He didn't want to eat. Because Prabhupada felt, from his point of view, that he didn't want to stay in this material world. The material body is not very happy to be in. It's a miserable place to be in. Because you have to, you have to eat, the miseries you get, disease and all kinds of bad weathers and The people you have to meet in this world is all enemies sometimes, People you don't like working with. On top of that, the body is giving you problems, the mind. You get sick. The nature's disturbances is not a nice place to be in, So for an advanced devotee, he just does what he has to do in this world and gets out. He doesn't stay here longer than he has to. Because he knows this body is not a very nice body, it's just full of misery. So he wants to get in his spiritual relationship with Krishna back in the spiritual world. That's it. That's ultimately what it is, And devotees go by what Krishna wants. They don't go by what they want. So Krishna's plan is for everyone is you do your business and get out. Don't stay here too long.
Once they go there, surely they have peace.
I don't know about the feast, but I know one thing is there. If you get into chanting, there's no limit to the holy name. You hear Bhagavatam, there's no limit to hearing Bhagavatam. Eating, there's limitations, How much can you eat? If you overeat, then you get sick for 5 days. But there's an example of this Madhu Mangal. He could eat 10 million ladus. So that's one example to show that the prasadam is, you can take unlimited amount of milk from the kalpavriksha, from the cows, the surabhi cows. So obviously there's a high level of pleasure there, but we can't perceive it in this realm here. But the descriptions are given in scriptures about it. It's all there in scripture. Yeah, like Krishna has 108 cows, so he chants on the beach to call his 108 cows. Right? Like that. There's a much more higher level of enjoyment there than here. Just like if you want a mango from an apple tree, you can't get a mango from an apple tree. But in a spiritual world, kalpavriksha tree, you can get anything, Six Goswamis, they were living under these different kalpavriksha trees, right? And they would get whatever they needed, right? But the secret is we have to overcome material desires. This is the secret. If you overcome material desires, then you can enter that spiritual realm. How to overcome material desires? You have to have sadhu sangha, associate with the serious devotees. Then you can overcome the material desires. And at this present, in our status of time which we are in now, we just have to become strong in our spiritual practices. Because the material world is not a permanent place. This is a very temporary place. Karma is going on here all the time. You see in the present world situation what's happening, right? It's all topsy-turvy.
What kind of spiritual practices that we need to keep in mind?
Well, you have to learn from devotees. Come in the morning, 4:30.
Okay.
And you have to learn from them. They will teach you everything.
Mainly chanting,
Yeah,
that's the main.
that's the main thing.
You know the Mass?
Hare Krishna, Hare
Yeah, like that.
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
That's it, yeah.
Just chant.
That's it. And then your conviction of Krishna has to become strong. So read Prabhupada's books. And then you hear the classes. Like this Sunday is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. Advaita Acharya in a Panch Tattva with a beard. You can see his picture there. He is Mahavishnu. He's the grandson of Mahavishnu who creates unlimited universes. So he's appearing in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela to spread the mission of Krishna Bhakti. So you just have to get to know the teachings more and take to the practice. So this year coming in now, all the festivals are coming in. Advaita Acharya's appearance, Lord Nityananda's appearance, Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So this time, if you dive into the mercy, you get real mercy. I better stop now. Gaura Aarti is happening soon. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. You can put this in the corner.
Yeah, sure.
This, you can put this in that side.
Who is singing? Okay. It's difficult playing the redundant singing. I'll try. Did you want to sing? You sing. You sing.
Okay,
No, you sing, because singing and playing I need to practice. You sing and I'll play.
Just hear the teachings.
It's going to go everywhere now.
That's very.
इधर आओ, इधर देखो, ये है, ठीक है? अब देखो, इधर, ठीक है ये? हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है.
Everyone please come forward. We are going to start some. No. Keep it on. याद है लेकिन इधर आते ही भूल जाते हैं. श्री राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद श्री राधे. Please repeat after me. राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद श्री राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद श्री राधे. राधा गोकुलानंद श्री राधे. राधा गोकुलानंद की जय सिया राम लखन हनुमान की जय श्री गौनिताय की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की की बजयो जयो गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा की बजयो जयो गोरा चांदे वदन उज्ज्वला किव बहु कोटि चन्द्रजिनी वदन उज्ज्वला नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रीलादास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहिए श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिराज गोवर्धन की वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माँ यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की समेत भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Daine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha नरसिंह भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Thank you very much all for attending the Aarti. Prasadam is now being served outside in the adjacent room, and the next Aarti will be at 9 o'clock. And there will be some kirtans from now till 9:30. So people are welcome to stay back and listen to kirtan and participate. Thank you.
Okay, this is on my hands.
Hare Krishna.
Can you make it?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.